Welcome to my first post-game recap. Vancouver Canucks, as you can see right there, 5-3 over the Edmonton Oilers. I've got some notes here that I took throughout the game, so we're going to go through those. Do a quick recap of the game. I'm rocking the PD jersey, didn't score tonight, but had a solid game nonetheless. So let's just go through. I'm also going to go with my game pucks for the game as well. So right to start off, early in the game, about 10 minutes of the first. By the way, other note, the Oilers jerseys are terrible. I hate those jerseys so much. They're so ugly. Canucks go to the power play. They had like 3 5-star chances. This is about halfway into the first period. Pedersen with a great one-timer. Boeser with a wrister. Hughes had a shot that was tipped. Nothing went in, so we're still at 0-0. Jake takes a penalty as well, cross-checking a player into Braden Holtby. Edmonton did nothing on the power play in that one. We had our first goal of the game with about 4.5 minutes to go in the first period. So Tanner Pearson has two players coming in on him. He has Zach Cassian pitching him off into the boards, and then Larson also goes up for the hit. So both defenders in on Pearson. He spins around, feeds it to Horvat, who's all alone in front. He tucks that one in. So Cassian and Larson need a little bit more communication there for sure. 3.5 minutes to go in the first. Draisaitl had a grade A chance on Braden Holtby, who literally didn't see the puck, but it looked like Jake blocked it. So one of the few good things from Jake tonight. And then there was another one where end of the first period, like 5 seconds to go in the first period, Draisaitl had to go wide on Juolevi, who broke that up with a good poke check. Juolevi, by the way, was good. He started off really strong in the first period. I have a note here saying great first period from Juolevi, solid defensively. Kind of fell apart a bit later in the game. His footwork definitely is hindering him a little bit. Going to the second period, Juolevi basically gets hauled down by Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl, it's kind of a stick lift, but it looked kind of like a hook too. Feeds Yamamoto in front, who ties the game at 1 on a little one-timer action there. So we're tied at 1. McDavid absolutely drives past everybody, tries to beat Travis Hamonic, just goes right past him. Hamonic gets a bit of a hook on him. Holtby sliding to his left made the stop anyways. On that power play, my only note here is that Connor McDavid is bonkers good. He was unbelievable. Again, they don't score. On that power play, though, Leon Draisaitl had a play where he also drove right through the crease and tucked it right into the post because he found out his initial shot. So still 1-1 after that. Also, I have a note, Jake Virtanen with a good play. He comes back, covers on defense. Connor McDavid in 1-on-1 with him, and Jake gets a good poke check. So, a true underdog story there. And then 2:41 to go in the second period. Nils Hoglander scores his first in the NHL. Bo Horvat holds the line. Pearson takes a quick shot. Rebound comes to Hoglander, who drives the net. I think it was Nurse on him that couldn't lift his stick in time. So Hoglander gets his first. And then with about 2 minutes to go in the second period, McDavid just chooses to go. Like he's like Hamonic, he's coming. Hamonic's there, and McDavid's like, no, I'm gonna go past you. He just chooses to. Hamonic hooks him. He gets a penalty, 2 for hooking. The broadcast was talking about whether that should be a penalty shot or not. I personally think so. He doesn't get a good shot off. All the criteria was met. It's more fun. I'm glad they didn't call it a penalty shot. Nothing doing on that power play. So it is 2-1 going into the third period. Right off the bat in the third period, Zach Cassian hits Darnell Nurse, rips it far corner over the glove to tie it at 2. And I was a little worried. That's a big momentum shift to start a period. You always want to start a period strong, and that was not it. But just 2 minutes later, not even, Gaudette is open in the slot. Roussel feeds him a beautiful pass. Gaudette, just sort of a knuckleball, but he got a lot of power on it, so he gets that pass Koskinen. 3-2, Vancouver. Just 2 minutes later, this was unreal. Oilers are trying to break out. Hughes is holding the line. Mott comes in to help him out. And Hughes, on his backside, just does a good one of these and just like sitting down, torques the puck back right into the slot where Brock Boeser is sitting by himself waiting. So he scores there, good little shot, tucks that one home under the glove. 4-2 Vancouver, starting to feel pretty good here. And then a few minutes later, Adam Larsson with an absolute rocket past Holtby. He basically shot this right between Sutter, who's coming in from this side, and Edler on this side. And as they were crossing, the shot kind of went like this through them. And Holtby had no chance. He didn't even see it. So 4-3. 3 minutes later, 8:15 to go in the third, Yamamoto gets a pass in front, and he is all by himself in front of Holtby to tie the game, and Holtby makes a great save there. 6:45 to go, another great shift from Hoglander. He tipped an Alex Edler shot. Koskinen still made the save, but it was a great tip. Good to see. 30 seconds later, Brock Boeser's wrist is fine. Look, Quinn Hughes, great play up to Pettersson at center ice. Pettersson with a just perfect bank pass off the far wall, and Boeser's in, has one man to kind of beat who's like a step behind him. Boeser just rips it. Absolutely rips it over the shoulder. Yeah, his second of the game. He's on pace for 112 goals this year, so he's obviously going to hit that. 4:15 to go. Canucks up by 2. Edler takes a cross-checking penalty. Not a great look. Edmonton pulls their goalie about halfway into that penalty. Canucks kill the penalty. Mott skates up, has an open net with 2 guys sort of pressuring him, and he fans on the shot. So we're still at 5-3. 1:49 to go. Oilers are pressuring. Mott's trying to break the puck out. Puljujarvi hooks him. So that's basically the end of the Oilers' chances. Canucks go to the power play. And the Canucks just sort of pass the puck around in the offensive zone, come back to the defensive zone. Basically just classic NHL 21 puck ragging. So that's what you love to see to kill off the game. So that's it. The Vancouver Canucks take down the Edmonton Oilers 5-3. A couple of their notes. Hoglander's line was spending a lot of time in the offensive zone. There was almost no time where Horvat, Pearson, and Hoglander were stuck in their own zone. Everything was down in the Edmonton end. Really great to see. Like I mentioned earlier, Uelevi was solid in the first, got burned a couple times in the second and third, but all in all, a fine start for Uelevi. My notes on Jake, meh. He seemed kind of disengaged. I noticed there was a few times where he'd go to dump the puck in, and he'd wait like a second before he started skating for it. And it looked like he was kind of doing it for show. It's just frustrating, you know? Like I bought beer. I was ready, but you know. And Travis Hamonic struggled a little bit, which is fair. He obviously had 2 days of camp, right? He didn't show up till Sunday. There was the day where COVID canceled the practice. So, you know, Hamonic struggled a bit. You could tell he's not used to playing with a guy like Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes is just snapping the puck to him, doing these like spins and just hooking it over to him. And Hamonic's like, oh, I have the puck now. And he's just not ready for it. So it's definitely something to adapt to. I'm sure that will improve over time. My game pucks for the game. Obviously, this channel is Parker's Pucks, so the giving away the game pucks I thought was pretty appropriate. I think I'm pretty creative. Thank you very much. To Vancouver, I'm giving it to Hoglander. Obviously, you know, it's a little cliche. So he gets his first goal in his first game, 20th player in Canucks history to do so. But he played really good. Like, he's a great fit with Horvat. He's so small and shifty, but he grinds too. Like, he gets in the corners as a shorter guy, as a short king. So, you know, really solid game from him. For Edmonton, man, McDavid's so good. But he didn't do a lot. I mean, he drew a couple penalties. He probably could have had 4 or 5 points. I'm going to give it to Yamamoto. I thought Yamamoto was really good. I think he drew 2 penalties. He took a penalty. He was really good. That's all I got to say about that. So game pucks go to McDavid and Yamamoto. So around the Canadian division, Edmonton and Toronto and Montreal played. That was a great game. Defense is dead, ladies and gentlemen. There's no defense in this division. I do have notes on this actually. Toronto's top line / first power play is really good. They're great at moving the puck. They get a lot of chances. And the one downside is it was a 3-point game. The Canucks are going to be battling with Montreal in theory for one of those top 4 spots. We think Toronto's going to make it, and they got the win today. But yeah, definitely you don't want to see 3-point games often in your division, so hopefully we don't get too much more of those. Next game, Canucks play tomorrow night against the same Edmonton Oilers. My predictions, obviously, well, let's start with this. Demko will probably be in net for that one. Who's Edmonton's backup? Is it Smith? I literally don't remember. My prediction, I'm going 3-2 Canucks in overtime. My prediction for this game was right, by the way. I said 5-3. I said Hoglander would score, and I said Jake would get an empty netter. So 2 for 3 isn't bad. I'll take it. Let me know what you think of this video. I'm going to try to condense these down a little bit more in the future, potentially, and get a little bit more used to this format. Hit subscribe if you want to hang out all season. Hit like, follow me on Twitter, hit the bell, smash the like button, do all that good stuff. Big win. You love to see it. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.